What up? So it's Halloween tonight. Don't know if you're into that, but I personally could do without. Not my favorite. Anyways, today I wanted to talk about love. So love is a very powerful emotion, right? And to truly give love, I think requires your heart to be open and then a little exposed, right? And in our society, I don't know, my personal experience is kind of 50-50. You know, you experience love from some people, but others are kind of cold and not so open. And I think watching the news might actually have a bit to do with that because you hear a lot of negative things, right? And so that kind of shapes your world thinking that it's a negative place, a place that can hurt you. And so you don't allow yourself to be this fully exposed, magnificent human. And, that's kind of sad, because I think if everyone exposed themselves to, just being open and honest and just really loving, then this world would literally be heaven on earth. To come from a place with no judgment, and I know that's quite difficult, especially being brought up in a certain way. When you're told that this is how things are, or maybe not necessarily even told, you're just modeling yourself off of the people that are around you, and so you can kind of think you can think of certain cities that are very with a high crime rate, maybe a lower income generally is associated with that, more in the North American cities, because in the third world countries, it's not quite like that. I mean, there's poverty, right? But there's still a kind of level of caring amongst each other, which I kind of experienced when I was traveling, right? People just love to give and share in some of those countries because they understand that coming from a love standpoint, just sharing and caring really gives an inner peace, a kind of, self-satisfaction, and it's scientifically proven that you get the most satisfaction out of life when you help others. And generally, to help others, you kind of gotta love them. It's a little bit in hand. Unless you're completely weird and do it for selfish reasons, which, realistically you are because it makes you feel good. So, anyways, there's also experiments that show love having effects on plants. When you love a plant so much more, when you love that plant, it will grow a lot better than other plants next to it. They've done it with rice too. I've seen this, where when you emit love to one pot of rice and you hate another pot of rice, they could be side by side, but you're giving off that emotion. The one that you hate will mold so much quicker than the one that you love, and the one that you love obviously will last longer. And they've done experiments on water as well, where the water crystals that form under harmonic frequencies, the crystals that form are very uniform, right? They're very nice, symmetrical shapes that form in the water. And when they do it with disharmonic sounds, frequencies that don't sound very good and are chaotic, the water gets all fractured, right? So you can translate that to us as humans, right? Because we're made of 60 to 70% water, and it's organic matter. When your heart emits that energy field, that frequency, and you have that effect on other people. So be kind to one another. And if you want to see the world change, it really does start with you. You are the change. When you start loving unconditionally, no matter what that other person does to you, yeah, it's hard because, if that person has hurt you or is calling you negative things, it's very easy to be negative back towards them. But two negatives don't make a positive, and really the only way to overcome that is to love them, because you can't hate someone that loves you, really. You can, but deep down inside, it's really hard. And now I'm not saying, if someone's gonna attack you with a knife, just love them, because that's gonna stop them. No, you're still gonna defend yourself, right? But to not hate that person afterwards. Obviously, they're in a circumstance that has driven them to that point. Something along their life has driven them to that. I don't believe that you're born as an evil child or, as a devilish child. Sure, you might be predisposed to a lack of empathy, therefore, you don't put yourself in other people's shoes. You don't care what they feel because you lack that connection. But based off of your upbringing and your environment, you can very easily be a good person and lack empathy because you're basing yourself off other people and how they do things. So that's the difference between a murderous killer as a psychopath and a psychopath CEO of a company. It's just kind of their environment and how they're brought up. So, as I said, just love. It's really the key message, and it's the fundamental of all religions, and I know if you're not religious, that's fine. But I think you can agree that if you have mutual respect for one another, even regardless of your differences, and you can still love them as a human being, as another sentient being, and that goes along with other animals and plants, this world will be a much better place. Much love to all of you, and have a good Halloween. Not that it's the best loving holiday, but anyways, peace.